Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I'm your host, Asia the Bird. To have a very special guest with me today, she's a fiber artist and model. Please welcome Chelsea Bee. Hello, Chelsea. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Asia. Thank you so much for having me. I feel like it's long overdue for this interview.
Yeah. I know things have been happening. We've been having like busy schedules and stuff like that. So
yes. Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. But thank you for taking the time out to letting me interview you. So this is great. So I want to go ahead and kick off this interview by asking, where are you from and how'd you get started in the fiber, arts and things like that?
Yeah. So I am from Chicago, Illinois, originally from Inglewood, the south side of Chicago. And the way that I got into fiber arts is actually my homeroom teacher, Miss McGivney. I talk about this a lot. Every single time I have an interview, I talk about this a lot. But yeah, I got started with my homeroom teacher, Miss McGivney, and she wanted to teach all of the girls in our advisory how to crochet because that was like one of her hobbies. She was a music teacher, but that crochet was a hobby of hers. And so she tried to get everybody into it. Not everybody was into it, but she saw that I really took well to it. So one day she ended up, after months of trying to teach us, she ended up giving me like the whole box of like yarn and crochet hooks. And I remember I just would practice and then I also ran track in high school, and my high school was on the west side of Chicago. I went to Noble Street, Chicago Bulls College Prep. My high school was on the west side of Chicago, and I lived all the way on the south side. And I would have to take the CTA bus. So if anybody is watching from Chicago, they know about the CTA bus. And it's a lot of weirdos and creepy people on there. And me being a girl, I was like, I'll just crochet because y'all gonna think I'm weird anyway. So let me crochet. And the bus ride was like almost 2 hours long sometimes. And so that's how I got my practice in, and I would just make scarves or whatever. And so, yeah, that's how I kind of got into it. Later, I found out that my great grandmother was actually a crocheter as well. And I never got to meet her. She died way before I was born. And so that's just funny how I'm into it, but nobody else in my family is besides my great grandma who passed away. Yeah. So that was back in 2014. And now we're here 20
Wow.
and 20. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Now, how'd you get into modeling?
So modeling for me, it kind of, I was always interested in it back when I was a kid. Like I was that child. My mom always said I was that child that wasn't really into watching cartoons. So all I would watch is like either home improvement shows, interior decorating shows,
right,
cooking, or America's Next Top Model. And if anybody knows about the Oxygen Network, they will always have like reruns of America's Next Top Model seasons. And that had always been my dream outside of designing, to just get on that show. And so I used to, I had a cool mentor or god sister. She was she's a hairstylist. And so they would have these hair shows.
right.
And I remember she asked me to, I think I was like maybe 9 or 10. She asked me to model in the hair show for her. And yeah, she taught me how to walk and things like that. And that's how I really, like, I was a super shy kid, but if you ask, like, I wouldn't talk to anybody, but if you asked me to runway walk or something, girl, I got you. Like, that was where my confidence flourished. And from then on, I didn't really do much. I would just do the hair shows, and like these like local fashion shows, like local little kitty fashion shows. And I won first place, and I hadn't been to a bunch of the practices. And so I was like, maybe I got something with this. Or my mom, she saw that maybe it brought out my confidence. So she would just let me just do it randomly. And then once I got to SCAD is really when I really like took it seriously, because people would ask me to model. And yeah, it just went from there. And now I've been fortunate enough to be able to model for like a few Nike campaigns and things like that. So that has been fun. Yeah. And
Wow, that's really, really cool. That's really amazing. Like, you're like really doing big things. Absolutely.
Oh, man, thank you.
You're most welcome. So I want to go ahead and talk about fibers a little bit. Like, who would you consider to be like your favorite like fiber artist?
Okay. So my favorite, by far one of my favorites, which really like shifted my perspective within fiber arts and the fiber arts community, was definitely Nick Cave. Oh my gosh, when I first saw his work, it did something to me, because as a person of color, I hadn't seen a lot of people that look like me in this industry. And so to actually see him, to see his work and to see where he came from, it just really inspired me. So Nick Cave is one of them. Number two, it would be Ebony Patterson. She's not necessarily a fiber artist, but she does a lot of things that incorporate fiber arts, like embroidery and things like that. But just the way that she just combines materials and create these like cool atmospheres and things like that, that really inspired me. Also, she looked like me as well. So yeah, those two are like have been some of my all-time favorites. So yeah, and Nick Cave, he does these like dope sound suits. If you want to look him up, he just did I think his installations are still here in Chicago at the MCA, and they did like a cool fashion show and stuff here in Chicago. But if you want to look up his work, look up sound suits, you'll see he's made sound suits, these like super dramatic sound suits out of like twigs, beads, everything, toys. It was just all incorporated in there. And it just made me realize that you can take this one thing that you wouldn't think that it would turn into something, but you can turn it into like just something amazing. And so those two by far.
Yeah, Nick Cave. I heard of Nick Cave before because one of the fiber professors told me about him. Because I remember I had like a project that I was doing. It was this like rainbow jacket, like that rainbow yarn in the back of the jacket. And I forgot her name. I forgot the teacher's name, but she mentioned to me about Nick Cave. But yeah, his work is really, really cool. Like his like sound outfits are really, really cool. I have to check out more of his installations and stuff like that. But yeah, when I first seen him, I was like, wow, like somebody.
Yeah, he's truly amazing. And both of those artists, they use a lot of color, and I'm wanting to use a lot of color. But they like sometimes people just stand offish about color sometimes, and like just how they just utilize color and just piecing so many things together. It's amazing. So if you want to check out Ebony Patterson, you go ahead and do that. She reminds me of like a Kehinde Wiley, but in a tangible form, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, because Kehinde Wiley, he does like these cool paintings, but he showcases and like kind of highlights just people of color. And when I say people of color, just Black individuals, and shows them in like this regal kind of, just this regal form. And so she does that in a tangible way with all of these multiple pieces and fabrics and things like that. It's so amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, right. And I think that's the thing, because especially with fiber art, we don't see a lot of people like us that are doing it. And, I did an interview with, her name is Karen Baker. She's a fiber artist. And, she was talking about, inclusivity within the fiber industry, the fiber side of the art industry. So that's definitely important to have, representation that look like us in fibers.
Especially with just this whole pandemic and COVID, like before me stepping into the TikTok scene with like crochet, I hadn't seen anybody jump out and like do it. And so to see now 2 years later, like so many Black girls and men just crocheting, it's like amazing. It's just this full-on community. And I remember when we did the Don't Rush Challenge. It was the Don't Rush Challenge, and I got to really bring together some girls, and they were all women of color coming in and like crocheting. So yeah, it's definitely within the past, like I want to say 2 years, once the pandemic started, or within the pandemic, like you've seen just the crochet and fiber arts community of Black women and Black fiber artists truly come up. And that is a cool thing to see, because like you said, representation is key. Like my niece, oh my God, little chocolate little girl, and she like sits and watch me crochet, and it's something that people actually like can see themselves doing as like a career. Right. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Because once upon a time, they wouldn't have thought that. Like, growing up, I know when I first started out, people were like, are you really going to do this? Right? Is that going to be something that you want to pursue? Like, yeah. But I hadn't seen nobody do it. So obviously I was scared. But hey, now that I'm doing it, I get a lot of like DMs and stuff of older women, young women telling me like, you truly have inspired me to crochet. I don't even crochet, but I want to crochet because I saw you do it. And I feel like that's something I could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I want to get into SCAD. So I know me and you, we graduate like the same class. So I want to go ahead and talk about with your end, what has been your whole SCAD experience like, especially majoring in fibers?
Oh my gosh. So Jesus, we could talk like not way before I got to SCAD, but like right when I decided that I was gonna go to SCAD. I literally applied to SCAD my senior year of high school because I just wanted to, like, it was something in me. I saw it and I knew that I didn't want to go to a regular college. Did like a surprise visit. Well, I made the executive decision to like tell my mom we're gonna go visit the school, and went there, fell in love with it. It felt like a second home to me. So we can start there. SCAD, it has truly become like became like a second home to me, and it really helped me to really become who I am as an artist. But where am I going with this? When I first got to SCAD, I originally came for fashion design. So I mean, granted, I'm doing fashion design now, but like doing what I was doing, I thought that I just had to major in fashion design. And so I remember my first year there, people were like, you should think about fibers. Even when I came to like do the tours and stuff, people were like, you should think about fibers. And I was always scared because I'm like, if I walk into this building, what if I fall in love with it? And that's deterring me from the plan that I came here for. And so I remember I was on I forgot what bus that is. I think it's the green bus. And I was the only person on the bus. I think it had to be fake. I was the only person on the bus, and I'm talking to the bus driver about, my interests and things like that. And he's like, well, we're in front of Pepe. Do you just want to stop in? Like, I could stop the bus and you can go in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? So I went in and I was like, wow, this is the place for me. And I switched my major sophomore year, at the beginning of sophomore year. And so, yeah, from that day forward, professors have been amazing. They truly pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And I think that has been beneficial because coming back to Chicago, again, people wasn't doing what I was doing. People here in Chicago wasn't doing what I was doing, but SCAD truly prepared me to stand on my own and become an entrepreneur, and help within my identity as an artist, right? Yeah, met so many great people there. Classes were amazing. I think one of the classes that truly, two classes that truly helped me was actually three. Lord have mercy. It was one, it was the dye class. I don't know if you that class. It was the dye class. Mm-hmm. Two, it was like it was the fibers version of the computer. I can't even think of it, but it was the digital stuff. Mm-hmm. That really helped me because I hated Photoshop. The first time when I did Photoshop and the whole Adobe suite, I cried. Like, I literally cried. That was freshman year. I would tell my teachers, like, me and Photoshop are like a strange husband and wife. Like, I don't even want to see for real. And I was like, by the time I finished that class, I was like, okay, he comes to my house. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a funny way to put it, but that really helped me because I'm able to do my own graphics and things like that. And then last was the studio practice class. And studio practice, it just helped me learn how to be a boss, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But overall experience of SCAD, it was hard. It was harder than it was very difficult. But I think that it was so beneficial because I wouldn't be where I am if I hadn't taken that risk and decided to go to SCAD. So I've met amazing people, and it's so, oh my gosh, I just want to say this. Shout out to the people who were in my class. Shout out to the people that I met that attended SCAD, because I can truly say now we run into each other on social media, outside of social media. And I am so proud to see where we have grown and where we have become. I'm just so proud to see what we all have become. Right. It is because I could truly be like, no, that's my friend. Like, I know them. Like, it's not like I'm a fan. No. I've been a fan, but they was in the gym with me. We was doing all-nighters together. And to see us all throughout the industry, it's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? And we would sit and talk about this at SCAD, saying how, man, wow, we're going to be the new industry people. We're going to be the new fashion industry, the new animation industry, new engineers, all of this stuff. And we have become that. And it's just amazing to see. So kudos to SCAD. Kudos to all of my I'm a modern, I mean, all of my alumni. Yeah, I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like for me, I majored in illustration, but my minor was fiber. So I took like at least like five or so courses in terms of fibers. It was majority illustration with a focus of surface design. But yeah, I totally agree. Like that whole SCAT experience was worthwhile because you learned so many things and you connect with people and you can network with people. And that's the really coolest thing about that whole experience. I think what could be a bit better with SCAT was just a little bit more about the business end of it. I would say a bit more, you know, just to get you more prepared to have your own business.
Yeah, because a lot of that, I mean, granted, I would agree with you on that. Granted, we did learn some, but I think with being a SCAD, they always taught you how to work under somebody. Right. And fibers, I want to say the surface design and textile major, they were the ones to step out and be like, no, you can be your own boss. Like that's, and the reason why I ended up switching my major is because for so long, they had always taught us to work under somebody, work under somebody. And I was like, I don't think that I would fit. Like I can fit in there, but like, am I meant to fit in? No, I'm meant to stand out. And I can definitely agree with you on that. And then also just like when I think they've improved it now, but like we needed a little bit more diversity and inclusion, and truly seeing ourselves at these, because I remember sitting in class and being like one Black person in my class, but also when companies would come, it was like sometimes I felt not seen. Yeah, sometimes I felt not seen, sometimes I felt not heard. And yeah, that's just one of those things that I think hopefully I haven't been there, but I from what I've seen, I believe that they have improved that. So yeah, you got your good and your bad. But yeah, definitely really teaching us how to become our own companies, own business people, own et cetera, and also that diversity inclusion. That was one of the things that I wish would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that too. Now, in terms of within SCAD, also you and Yanni, y'all had your own fashion show, especially I forgot that whole event that I think it was Lights Camera Excellence, and you guys did those like fashion shows. Like, how did that come about?
Oh my gosh, so that's so funny because we would literally be losing our minds. But the way that came about is it just all started off as like friendship. We met freshman year in English class. And it's funny, we actually have matching tattoos now. We have like the why not and the year and month that we met, which was September 2015. And we have like why not with the 9/15, because we're always like, why not? Why we can't do it? You know what I'm saying? We could do that. But it all started off as a friendship. Like we met, I found out that she sewed, and like I saw her work and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then we just was sitting next to each other in class. And then I think it was somebody reached out to me about doing a fashion show. And I ended up reaching out to her, like, you want to help me, girl? Like, let's do this. And that was our first time doing that together. And I think from there on, that gave us the opportunity within our freshman year to kind of network with models, with other students who wanted to do like events and stuff. And I mean, granted, it wasn't the best show, but it was a good way to get our feet wet. In that moment, I was like, oh my God, like I'm fail like Jesus, like, oh my God. But the fact that I did it was like, dang, we could do it. And so once we got involved with like BSA and things like that, that's when I think it's like, okay, girl, we got this. And yeah, it literally started as a friendship. Granted, now we're both doing like our own things, but we talk every day. She's been my assistant in my business a few times. Okay, sometimes she's been my doggone intern helping me out. She's been my therapist sometimes, child. So we still like, that's my girl, that's my best friend. And she's doing her thing in New York. But yeah, it literally started off with just a friendship and us like talking to ourselves like, girl, we could do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's put our things together and do it. And I remember on some of them shows, no, practically all of them, we was in our dorm rooms sewing on our machines, child, the night before, the morning of, like, it was just, Lord have mercy. It was, wow. Yeah, but it was a great experience. Yeah, but it literally started off as just a friendship. I'm grateful for it because after I graduated, I ended up curating my own fashion show here in Chicago. And that was a huge success. And I can truly attest that success and attest that success to these fashion shows that we did for Lights Camera Excellence freshman year. You know, I could go on and on. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Now talk more about the Code Red like fashion show. Like, how did you like plan that whole event?
Oh my gosh. So it all started, I knew for a fact that I was going to be graduating from SCAD in 2019. And like I said, when I left Chicago on a mission to make something out of myself. And I knew that I wasn't fortunate enough to learn about arts and fashion and it being on an industry scale. And I learned all of that at SCAT. So I knew for a fact when I came back to Chicago, I wanted to give my people an experience, but also show my friends and family and those who supported me from afar and who couldn't make the trip to come and visit me. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to show them all that I had accomplished and bring it all together. So I was literally planning that fashion show while I was while I was in my senior year of college. So I was stressed, girl. I was so stressed. But I worked, I saved up money. I had like a event coach or like a mentor. She was on top of me during that year. And it was low-key kind of hard because that year I found out that my granddad, he had a stage 4 throat cancer. So we was dealing with that. And but yeah, basically I worked. I used all the money that I was making from a job that I was working down there, money that I was making when I was modeling for SCAD Fashion Week, and I saved up. I had about 24 models. I had about 24 models, 52 looks, and I hired like two makeup artists and some hairstylists and things like that. It was a lot, but I knew the vision. Like I said, the vision was I just really wanted to bring back and give my people an experience. And so, yeah, during winter breaks, I was having casting calls here in Chicago. I'm calling my mom to do like on foot marketing because prior to me really getting into social media, like we was giving out flyers. So I was making all my graphics. I was utilizing the computers and stuff at SCAD to like make my graphics. I was collaborating with videographers. They thinking that it's for like my senior project. I mean, granted, I was able to use some of the things that I ended up putting in my Code Red fashion show in my portfolio. And so I utilized my senior year as also a way to come up with like my vision for Code Red. And so it became a success. My original vision for it was to have like maybe 200 people come, but sold out. And then I had about 300 guests. I was able to invite the double stitch twins. They're some of like I want to say mothers or like matriarchs in Chicago in the crochet industry. And I was so happy that they liked me enough that they wanted to, like, they was like, yeah, we'll come, like, girl, yes. And so that was amazing. And I've never been able to truly thank those models, thank the people that like helped me. Yeah, but it was a lot of work. As you can see, 3 years later, I was like, girl, let me hold off for a minute on doing another fashion show. But yeah, Code Red nickname is red. To me, red is the color of passion, and that's what I wanted to show people. I've been truly passionate about what I've been doing from the start, and so I was like, I'm coming back, showing you my passion, showing you that I'm not just a model. Like, modeling is just the cherry on top to just the sundae of a person that I am, and artist that I am, and so that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, that's really, really cool, you know, that you did that fashion show. And it
Yeah.
looks really, really cool too. Would you consider your fashion to be like haute couture crochet? How would you describe like your crochet fashions?
Child, abstract portrait of self. I'm gonna always say that. It's literally a lot of what I create is like collages. So my crochet stuff is like, it's just a collage of like what I'm thinking. I don't even know, would it be considered couture? I have no clue. Sometimes I feel like it's streetwear, sometimes I feel like it's couture, and then I just combine those things together and it becomes Chelsea Bee. It becomes colorful, it just becomes art. You know what I'm saying? It becomes like walking wearable art. And you can wear it every day or you can wear it for a special event. But yeah, it's really an abstract portrait of self and what goes on in my brain. Yep. So it's just a collage of so many ideas in my brain. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it as like a mixture of like couture, high fashion, and then streetwear. You know, like just based on like what you create, like the gowns, and then you have like the smiley face crochet, and then you got the flower smiley face. I forgot the artist that does those like smiley face flowers and colorful flowers. Like, but that reminds me of that artist, like what you do over the crochet, you know,
thank you.
flowers and stuff like that. So it's like a mixture of couture, you know, meets streetwear and things like that. So I want to get into the business end really quickly. So what are some marketing strategies that have worked for you in terms of, you know, marketing your business successfully?
Number one, so one of my dreams has always been to like dress artists and like rappers and stuff like that. And grateful enough, that was like on my vision board and like something that I wrote down 2 years ago. And I'm grateful enough that now I've been fortunate enough to be in those type settings. And so one of my marketing strategies has been, one, I get to go to these events and be with these artists and things like that. So I wear my clothes to those events. And then people will be like, oh, where you get that from? Oh, I made it. Here you go, my Instagram. Right. So that's one, like for real, honestly, that's me promoting myself because I know how I want to style it and I know how I want to wear it. So I wear it how I want to wear it. And then I pop out and people are like, oh, that's so dope. Like, yeah. Another thing I think is with my social media. So TikToks, Reels, like, and I learned that quick in COVID, like right at the start of COVID. One of my high school best friends, she has a little sister. Her little sister was like really into TikTok at the time. And she was like, you should try it out. So I'm like, okay, I ain't got nothing else to do. I can't work, you know what I'm saying? So let's just play around with TikTok. So I had clothes, ideas that I just was thinking about. And so I'm like, okay, I've done flipagram. Let's try this out. So I just, you know, I know that with fiber arts, people are very visual and visual. They just like visual stuff and they also want to touch, but because they can't touch nothing, they really want to see process. So I would do these things where I'm like showcasing the yarn and then I do a reveal and bam, I'm in the outfit. So everybody thought that was really cool. And so that became my marketing thing. And that was a happy accident because I didn't think nobody was going to be looking at me. And one day I looked up, I'm like, oh, I'm at 10,000 followers on TikTok. Okay, I guess we got something here. So number one, it was like I wear my clothes. I always wear my clothes when I go out. Number two, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, and that's really it. And some people like do the ads. Child, I didn't need to do the ads. I would just wear it, and now I'm doing like the get ready with me's because it's like, oh, I make the clothes, but also we can style these pieces of different ways. Marketing is definitely wear your clothes. If you got a brand, put that on, and people gonna ask you where it's from. And I would get like my music video director friends. They genuinely like the clothes, but I was just they wanted to wear them so other rappers and people would see it and things like that. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's been.
That's really, really cool. But I definitely want to also talk about Lucky Day and Young Baby Tate because they were the ones that wore your garments.
Oh,
how did you feel when you saw them wear your stuff?
Chad, I cried. Before Young Baby Tate, it was Flo Millie. Mm-hmm. And when I got hit up by the stylist to do that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, me. And so that was the first like industry thing. That was like a birthday gift to myself. I literally, because the day when it came out, it was around my birthday time. So that was pretty cool. But when I saw the Young Baby Tate thing, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that it was on in New York City Times Square yet. Like I just thought, okay, we dropped the video on YouTube, and I was like, okay, that's enough. Like, oh, I don't know, like I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I got the when I got the call from the stylist, and then we started seeing it pop up like everywhere, I was like, literally cried. I couldn't even believe it. Like I was like, oh my gosh, you know, because I remember it's something when you see, when you're at home in your studio and stuff, and you seeing it and you feeling it, right, and it's in your face, right, you see it just by yourself, but when you get to get on somebody else, and like people from all across the world admire it. And people are still talking about the doggone look. I'm out, and then people talk to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did like the young baby tape thing. I'm like, yeah, it was the blue outfit. Oh my God, for real, they talking about it. And then like even last week, I'm on Pinterest and I'm scrolling, and I see the look, and it was like young baby tape. I was like, oh my gosh, like, so that was something. And then the lucky day one, chill. I cried. Like I think I woke my whole house up. I was where was I? First of all, a lot of times people don't know is when you dress artists, a lot of times you don't meet the artist, you are in contact with the stylist, right? They reach out to you. So a lot of times I don't get to meet these people. I just get their measurements and then ship, and then you don't know when the project is gonna come out. So that was like, I think that was back in summer of last year. Send it out, you know what I'm saying? And then we ended up seeing it. I saw it like towards the end of the year. And so I hadn't heard anything. So something was like, go to YouTube. Like they just dropped a project, like go to YouTube. So I go to YouTube and I'm looking at the video. I'm like, oh my God, like that's my work. And I literally was in the bathroom, and I'm usually like a super calm person. You know, my family are usually the ones like, Chelsea, you gotta post this. You gotta post about this. Like, why you didn't post? And so, but this time when I saw it, I screamed, oh my God. He's like, what's wrong? Did you hurt yourself? What's wrong? Like, no, it's good. I'm just so happy. Like, and I remember lucky they ended up finding me on like TikTok, and like he commented, and I'm just like, oh God, Jesus. So both of those, the young baby tape thing, it changed my life. Lucky Day, that really made me proud of myself and realize how far I've come from crocheting in my attic, just making hats for my dog, to having my stuff featured in music videos and in a lane and in a place that crochet, you wouldn't have thought a few years ago, you wouldn't have thought crochet would be in that lane and space. And so yeah, that made me truly be like, girl, you doing something. Like, I know you'd be doubting yourself, but look at that. And so now I've been fortunate enough to dress artists like what's his name? It's a new young artist by the name of The Holiday. My work is featured on him in Apple Music, which is really cool. I did some stuff for a drag queen, Monet Exchange. I don't know when that'll come out, but they said it's going to take like a year or two. But yeah, I did that. And a lot of times people don't know I do these things in like 2 or 3 days. I believe the Lucky Day thing, I had to do it in like two days. Young Baby Tate did it in 2 days and shipped it out. So I'm working fast. Yeah. So
yeah, that's really, really, really cool. Now, is there any other like celebrity you want them to like wear your garments? I could see you doing something for Tiana Taylor.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna try to submit to their competitions they have coming up. I know she just lost somebody, so I don't know how everything is gonna play out with that. But one is definitely Tiana Taylor. Like that's like my dream. I would definitely love to dress Kendrick Lamar. I'm just gonna put it out in the atmosphere. I definitely want to dress Kendrick Lamar in something. Definitely Tiana Taylor. I think those are my top two. J. Cole too. I would love to put something on like J. Cole, ASAP Rocky, Rihanna, Solange. Like those are like my top people. I love Toby Nwigwe. But he's like his own creative director in himself. But if I ever could have something on him, that would be dope. I love D Smoke. Like I would love to dress him. Amine. Oh my God. I could like Jesus. Like me and Amine, I feel like because he's just him. And I love to dress people who are just authentically themselves, which is why when I name these people are just authentically themselves. Like, this is how they are. You know what I'm saying? And those type of people that I like to dress. You know what I'm saying? Not people who want to be like somebody else. One of my favorite sayings is that it's very much a vibe, not a trend. And so when I say it's not a trend, like, we're not trying to be trendy. We're here to set trends. But we're here to set trends by being ourselves. And so those are the people that I truly want to dress. So when you hear me say these people, these are people that I've been watching and like them be their authentic selves throughout being in this industry for so many years. And if I could dress them, that just I would also love to like work with like Tyler the Creator. I could just let me start writing some of these people down, because a lot of times last year what I did was I like wrote some stuff down and I was able to like check it off. So maybe that's what I need to do this year. I'm gonna just put it on my list and check it off. So if I can, let's cross our fingers. If I can dress Deanna Taylor this year, that would be amazing. Yeah. Another person is Smino as well too. I actually was able to like send him a hoodie, and so I'm gonna try to get him to like model for my upcoming like campaign and collection. So we're gonna see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. But like when you model and things like that, you do give me Solange vibes. You remind me of Solange. And I can see also for Solange as well. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really amazing. Now I want to get into in terms of like when you do crochet pieces, how much do you charge, or how do you go about with charging and pricing for custom crochet pieces?
Okay. I've been given so much advice to like younger crocheters in this industry, because it's something that I had to figure out on my own, just a lot. But the way I go about it is, number one, we talk about like what it is that they actually want. Okay. And then from there, that's where I'm able to estimate the amount of time that it's gonna take to crochet it. Factor in, when I say amount of time, like how many hours it's gonna take to crochet it. Number two is the material cost. Number three is shipping, and just the amount of like when they need it by. So when it comes to custom stuff, I start out, depending on if it's like a 2-piece or something, it's between like $250, $300, and then it could go all the way. I've had you paying all the way up to like $2,000 for a piece. But yeah, and then if they want stuff like expedited within like 2 days, it'll be I don't want to say easy, because these are hard conversations that I've had to have. It'll at least start out about $500, because sometimes shipping alone, I've paid upwards of $600 for shipping. So and a lot of times when people need stuff like overnighted, things like that, that's what I'm also thinking about too, because I can't come out. Listen, I'm still working up the totem pole, you know what I'm saying? So I can't come out of pocket. So these are the things that you need to think about. Number one is, how much time is it going to take you to do this? Number two, just material costs. Number three, be thinking about shipping, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's your option if you don't want to include that, but baby, shipping costs. Shipping costs a lot. And depending on where you shipping it, that can factor into it as well. So yeah, those are the things to think about. Usually ranges between $250. Lowest, I'm not gonna say the lowest thing, but customs, yeah, about $250, $300. And I've had people talk to me so much about, Chelsea, you gonna have to up your prices even from there. So I tell people, like, let's stick with these prices right now, because one day it's gonna be super different, and I'm gonna be working with so many other people and that are above me, or not, I don't want to say above me, but like when you work with manufacturers or like retailers, things like that, they shift prices as well. So and that's something that I'm getting into now. So yeah, it starts at about $250, $300, and then it goes up, and that could start out at like $500 to like $2,000 to if they need more. So there you go, pricing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely a hard conversation. There's been times I hate it. Oh my God, because I'm so nice. And I'm like, but I'm grateful that I have people in my corner to be like, no, Chelsea, stop being nice. Like you have to get paid what you're worth, because this is not easy, you know? And I'm literally creating things from lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're creating things from scratch. Yeah, most definitely. It's
Mhm.
understanding your worth and your value, especially within the industry I'm in, being
Mhm.
in the beauty industry, especially doing press on nails, you got to really charge your worth because that's a lot of time. You're using,
Pay your artists, pay your creatives, pay
yes,
your creatives, because I'm like, and then you'll get people that be like, well, you do this, right? You think I just learned this out of thin air? Like,
right.
there, there's a like practice doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Jesus, thank God. He blessed me with a brain to be able to comprehend what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you'll get people like, well, this is what you do. So like, okay. And it goes for a family. And I tell people, it's not a person. Like, if this is not the person, sometimes it is. It's like, look, come on, you disrespect me. But no, it's not because now, I'm into like the invoices and taxes, and it's just a whole nother thing. But yes, I gotta eat. I got bills to pay like everybody else. This is my way of living. So mhm.
hmm and that's the thing. You have to charge your worth. And you got to sustain yourself. Sustainability is very, very important, and
Yeah.
especially like people can buy a Louis Vuitton purse or some shoes. It's like if you could buy that, you should be able to buy what we create. Whether it's like a custom design jacket or a press on nails at that same price, which is $200, $300, $400, $500.
Because people don't realize materials cost, man. But
Mm,
it's all the time too. Like sometimes half the deposit is just to buy materials. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm definitely looking into like grants and stuff now, just so I don't. Because right now I'll be funding everything myself, and you know, yeah, you work and yeah, yeah, it's just one of those things. You have to sustain yourself. Um, because at the end of the day, if you low by yourself, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot and be so frustrated with just the project in general. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Um, and you'll be mad making it. And I don't want to have that type of energy creating something because I didn't low by myself. Yeah. So
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, what
mhm.
has been your experience like working alongside Nike Chicago?
Oh my God, I love them so much. Oh, I love them so much. Like, oh my God, they already know. I love them so much. And let me tell you why. This has been amazing. I could literally cry. Like, I love them. I can't say it enough. I'm so grateful. Like, they're my second family, and I can't wait to see just more things that I get to do with them. But it all started, I had just graduated from SCAD. It was about post grad, about 4 to 5 months. And I was looking for a job. And one day I got up, and I want to say it had to be God. He told me to go downtown, and I got up, got on the train. I had like my last like $5, and I went downtown. I got on the train, I went downtown, and I just walked down the street, and that's how I got my first job as a visual artist for this company, Alter State. But I just kept walking, and I found the Nike lab, and just coincidentally, I found out it was like a space in there because Virgil collaborated with Nike to create this space called the Nike Lab, and it turned into like a pop-up shop, kind of like a studio, open studio for creatives. And so every day without a job, I would just go in there because I'm like, this is going to be my job until I secure a job. And it has been a dream ever since. I'm so grateful for my good friends. Love her, Karen Carter. She discovered me. We just had a conversation, and then I was able to teach my first workshop to inner city kids here in Chicago, and I made like replicas of just sneakers. And yeah, it's just been a dream ever since. I love them. Fast forward, I've been able to be an influencer for Nike Chicago, been able to like model for a campaign or two, been able to now attend the Nike School of Chicago, which has been a dream. I'll be working this summer on Capstone. I don't want to give too much detail, but yeah, I'll be able to work with them this summer. I'm going to be working with them this summer on some cool things. But I love them. It's been a dream. I love Nike so much. I love the people that I've met there, and I'm so grateful and excited to see just where this relationship grows. Oh man, I just love them so much. I can't take time. It's just been truly amazing. And it's just been a blessing in my life. When I walked into that lab, they truly gave me just a space to be me and truly learn and figure out who I was, because I know some people like just graduating from college, and it can be, people don't talk about post-grad depression. And that was something that I was experiencing so bad. I'm coming off this high of graduation, and then I'm curating my first fashion show. So I've been working ever since I graduated high school, just in school, running a business, content creating, you know what I'm saying? All the way up to finally graduating, and then creating a fashion show. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sitting. And like, for me, that was so strange to just sit and not have nothing to do. Because I was like, I'm supposed to do something. I don't have a plan as to what's next. And so walking into that Nike lab and them giving me a space, and they had yarn, right? They had yarn and nobody was using it. So like, I'll take advantage of this and I'll just, have fun. And so being able to go into that space and them encouraging me, just encouraging me and allowing me to do what I do. I was fortunate enough to meet Virgil through that space and through them, and like, can't thank them enough. Like, and shout out to Virgil, rest his soul. Just grateful for him even creating that space, right? And think about creatives, because it has truly been a joy. I truly cannot thank them enough. They know this. I tell Karen them all the time. I'm like, I just want to say thank you, because they love me. They care about me as a creative, as a person. And it has truly been an amazing experience, like, for real.
That's really, really amazing. That is absolutely incredible. Now, in terms of like another aspect of art, do you still paint? Do you paint on fabric still, or has that been on pause for a little bit?
I don't necessarily paint on fabric, but what I do is I incorporate my paintings into my work. So a lot of times when I'm stuck, I want to say when I'm like stuck creatively, I paint and I draw and everything. And so a lot of those images, I actually just did like a project for Nike school where we had to kind of come up with this narrative. We've been talking about storytelling and like narrative. And so I talked about how, when I'm stuck on what I want to do, I paint. And so I had for a long time when I was stuck, I always found myself painting like these smiley faces of faces. And so that's kind of how I came up with this smiley face idea. And so I try to crochet those images. I've been trying to incorporate just crocheting those images, and I put them on just the clothing. So I've always wanted to do something like that. So I want to really, So I don't necessarily paint on clothing. However, those paintings inspire me with the things that I create and the imagery that I create for my work, right? And it also helps in like marketing. Like, it's a lot of, for example, for this past Nike project, I made a shoebox and I incorporate my illustration and like what I like to draw like on the shoebox. So it contributes in those aspects, right? It's helped me with just like the branding and like packaging things that I like, that illustration and painting stuff that adds to that. Do I paint on clothing now? No, but it still finds a way weaved into my work still.
That's really cool. Now, what's your take in terms of art based on what you've seen, and especially where it's going, especially with technology?
You know what? I definitely will say that art is people are truly seeing creatives now. As much as we like to, as much as, people be shading TikTok and stuff now, I think that these social media platforms, they are truly allowing artists to be seen and truly allowing people to see art as an actual career. I know when I first came up with the idea back in like 2015 that I truly wanted to like pursue art, it was all this talk of like, girl, are you sure this is something that you want to do? Are you prepared to like not be able to buy a house and all of this stuff just because you want to do art? And like to see how far just like art and creative careers have grown is amazing. And yeah, social media and just being content creators is showing people that you can have a career outside of, well, I'm going to say for people of color. I know me coming from Chicago, the first thing that you think about is like sports and going to the military, you know what I'm saying? Just these things, you know, that we've known for. And yeah, no, you don't have to do that. Yeah. I'm the first in my family. First one to like graduate from college, first one to decide to go to a dog or art school, let alone college, right? Graduate, start a business, a creative business, you know what I'm saying? So I can truly say that with the help of social media, we are seeing creatives more. Creatives are being seen. Granted, we're still figuring out the pay stuff, but your creatives in art is being embraced more, and I'm so happy to see that. Yeah, and people of color within the creative industry are finally getting their flowers, and I mean from all angles: fibers, fashion, tech. You know what I'm saying? Graphics, like storybooks. You know what I'm saying? We have so many cool just children books that are coming out that are like Black creators that have created these books, animators, like
right,
films, and Disney. Well, yeah, Disney is doing like a cool thing with that too. But yeah, so far we are being seen, and yeah, I'm grateful for that. So all the weird kids are the coolest on the block now, and that is
right.
that is like seriously,
Right.
we the coolest. We the coolest. I'm proud to say that. Come on, put some respect on our name, because we was out here looked at as weird, like what the heck y'all doing, and now they fascinated, and that's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, I could totally agree, and especially there's innovation, and especially so like the sky's the limit, especially within my industry, the nail industry. Where,
oh man,
yeah, Black nail artists are getting their foot in the door. Like Spifster, she's from Chicago, and you should check out her nail work. She does like graffiti, like her stuff is very abstract.
Yeah,
you know, so there's Black nail artists that are stepping their foot in the door in the beauty industry. So yeah, as a creative, there's more innovations, you know, coming from us.
and it's so like even that makeup artist, I can't even think her name right now, but she just came up with that trend to do the colorful concealer. I was like, girl, your trend is out here doing it all. I remember seeing her, and I'm like, wow, like you know, I hope people finally see her work and things like that, like. And now she's finally getting her flowers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like little things like that. But I can definitely attest. Black nail techs, come on now. Black fiber artists, come on now. We got black accessory designers. Come on. Like it's like, even I think you had this young bag designer, Ravel, I can't think of his name.
Ravel Gaither.
Yes. Oh my gosh, love his bags. Like, and I remember seeing him, and I'm so happy to finally see him getting his flowers at such a young age. You know what I'm saying? Who else? We can go on and on. We got Brandon Blackman. Like, we got so many people that we could just come up with flowers, just giving them their flowers. And yeah, I'm so happy to see that. That's what's going on in the creative industry. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the NFT stuff. It's a little janky stuff going on with it. But just thing, like, we are really getting our coin off of just living in our truth. And that is amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. And especially, you know, with us coming from SCAT, like what you're doing, like Kennedy Warren Nell's doing, you know, making his
Brianna,
own. Yeah.
Brianna, like,
you know, Nelly,
yes, Nelly. Don't even get me started.
But you know, it's really amazing to see of like how far we came as a people, and we're getting more recognition in the creative industry.
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. Now, what are some tips you would give for someone who wants to get into crocheting?
Number one, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Take that time to explore what it is that you want to do. I'm just learning that it's okay to take breaks, because I'm very hard on myself. But yeah, definitely give yourself breaks. Give yourself breaks and give yourself grace. That's really what it is. Number two, you are worthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I say you are worthy, a lot of times coming up in the crochet like industry, you'll get people trying to tell you like, you're gonna charge that much for this. You gonna do it. It's okay to hear them talk because they're just talking, but just remember you worth it. And it's not a matter of changing your prices. It's a matter of shifting your buyer, shifting your audience, because it's somebody out there that's going to appreciate your work. Take risks. Don't be afraid to try something. That's how I've found my way into doing some of the silhouettes and pieces that I've done, is because I took a risk. Granted, it took me a minute to like figure it out, but eventually, because I took a risk in trying it out, right? Here I am with something. So yeah, try, like try. It's okay if it look crazy. Another one is, I don't know how to phrase this, but it's somewhere along the lines of like, don't abandon your project. There we go. Because a lot of times those projects, like, yeah, you can take a break from it, but don't forget about it. Because a lot of times those projects that you was like, oh, this is like, I thought about it, but it's not working. It can work in the future. For example, the puffer coat idea. I remember I thought about that idea back in, I want to say like 2019, 2020, when it crossing over. And I remember trying it out and like, it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. But I remember last year is when I officially was like, okay, I think I got it. But that was years ago when I thought about it, but I revisited it. Did I abandon it? No. But I came back to it when I felt like I had tested and all of this stuff, and now here I am. So don't abandon your project. Just revisit it, take a break from it, come back, and then you be good to go. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yep.
All right.
That's it. Do I have anything? No.
Now, I want to get into mental health really quickly. So how have you balanced mental health with your crochet business?
Jesus. I want to say I've got a therapist, honey. I pray, but it's something that I'm still like working through, just because I do put a lot of pressure on myself. Again, first. I'm a first in my family. So a lot of times I'm looked at like great and things like that, especially being an influencer and thing. And you have so many people pulling on you. So I'm learning that it's okay to like say no, right? You can't do everything. Learn, like, ask for help, right? I'm so bad at it. It's one of those things that it's easier said than done. Right. But you got to help. You got to say no. And what I'd like to do is I take time for myself. So I take myself on dates. Right? I just take myself on dates, whether that's like just going to the movies or simple. Like last night, I was feeling so down. I just got up and I drove to like Baskin Robbins to get ice cream and just sit and like look at a movie. Like, and that's literally what I did. But definitely, I know as creatives, sometimes we feel like creating is just gonna like kill, like it's gonna put the band-aid on it and heal what you're going through. But sometimes you need to take a break from just what you used to doing, because you need time to just sit and like breathe and just to take a moment to sit back and think. And just be to yourself, and that is okay. It's okay to take breaks, and I say that still battling with that, you know what I'm saying? But the one thing I'm definitely telling you is that it's okay to take breaks. It is okay. It is okay. Yeah. I was Cole Bennett, actually. He came to speak to us at Nike School, and I remember him talking about this, and this like amazing, inspiring individual. He talked about like because sometimes social media, it can really like weigh on you because you viewing other people, like you viewing people and trying to do what's trendy. You know what I'm saying? you trying to stay with the trend and you trying to make sure that you're seeing and like, you put in a lot of work to make this content and you put a lot of work into creating this content and this piece and you feel like people ain't looking at you. But sometimes you gotta take a break and get away from social media. But also another thing is just create for yourself. And I know that's sometimes easier said than done, but when you do projects that you are truly passionate about, the notoriety, it will come. It's in the moments when you just doing the stuff that you love instead of trying to be trendy, that people be like, those be the times when people will truly recognize you, and you would have never knew that had you just been trying to do what everybody else is doing. But yeah, take breaks. Don't get too caught up into social media. Yes, okay to look at what's trending and things like that, but do what speaks to your heart. Do what speaks to your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can agree with that. And I think also that pressure comes from, like how you said, with family, especially like from parents, you know, because they have like these high expectations, especially with social media. And I like how you said too, like, you know, create for you. Because I think, you know, sometimes we don't know how to establish that balance between giving somebody what they want versus how to create for ourselves. So I think you mentioned that.
Let me tell you something. I've told clients, they've sent me, one of my main rules is never recreating somebody else's like crochet design, right? And when I say that, it's like, yeah, I could be inspired by it, but I have to make it me. And if a client comes to me sending me somebody else's work, I'll reach out to that person. I know some people won't do this, but I reach out to that designer and be like, hey, somebody reached out to me to recreate your design. I'm not comfortable with doing that, so I sent them your way just to give you a heads up. This is their name and their information, etc., etc. Yeah. And also it's the other thing. Your family don't be knowing. I'm sorry. I told my family, like my mama, she knows, she gets so mad at me, but I don't care. Cause she'll be like, why does she want to make these baby socks? Why do you want to do that? No, because if I would have done what other people was doing in that moment, I wouldn't have established who I am, my aesthetic, how I create, what I create, my style. I could keep going on and on. People know to come to me for what I create, not because of not what somebody else creates, right? I really don't even make infant clothes. You know, if I do it, it's got to be because like, oh, they're gonna let me have, you know, free reign to do it however I want to do it. But honey, I do what I want to do. And then a lot of times people be like, oh, that's what's gonna sell. I know we got bills to pay and things like that. But if you do it because somebody else is doing it and you doing it just for the money, sometimes by the time you start working on it, you're going to dread the project, right? And so that's why I say just do it from your heart. Don't be sitting up here listening to these people. Because a lot of times, unless your family member has done the industry that you're doing or they done did what you did, sometimes you got to tune them out. Because although they mean well, it can truly weigh on you. And I could tell you some of my most depressive moments and seasons in my life, it has come from like family talking on me about what I should do and what I create, and friends trying to tell me what I should do and what I should create. And I'm trying to just get it all together. And I'm like, forget this. I don't want to do that no more. Let me just do what I feel, because I'm going to be going crazy. So no, be listening to y'all. So yeah, sometimes you got to tune them out because it will weigh on you. It will.
And also too, if like the art thing, I like how you talked about experimentation, because that's very important too. And it's also not being afraid to push yourself. You don't know where your art's gonna take you. It's gonna take you to different avenues.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's absolutely the thing with that. So how would you define success in your perspective?
That's a good question. I saw this question and I didn't come up with it. I didn't have no answer yet. I could sit up here and give you like the cliche answer of like success comes from like just truly being happy. Yeah, even in the moments of like me feeling super happy about super happy, sometimes I feel I ain't been successful. But honestly, because this is a deep one, because some people look at success as like a social media following and
Right.
so much money and things like that. But I can truly say the moments where I felt most successful have been, again, me just being happy with just doing something that I truly was passionate about. And that got me success, right? But it was because I was successful within myself by doing something that I was passionate about.
Right.
And that got me success. So I would say the way I measure success is success. I guess success. This is a very deep question. I don't know why, but it's truly been when it was like a 2-day project. It wasn't even a 2-day project. It was a project that I was like, I want to get this done, and then I saw all the way through, and I didn't break on it, and you know what I'm saying. And then I was like, wow, I did it, and that was like successful for me. And because of me doing that, then I got success. So, for example, the pink dress with the hat thing. I remember I was such in a creative funk. I was stuck, and I was like, oh, I got this idea. I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and I was like, it's amazing. Like, that was it. And then in turn, like, it went like viral, and like, but that was after. But in that moment when I finished it, I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I just sit and look at it, and look at the pictures all day and things like that. So that's my success, when I'm truly passionate about something and I finish a project that I was truly passionate about. And that's just what it is. So did I get money from it? No, but I was happy with it. Sure, I would love a check for it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't care about that. I just cared that I finished the project. I finished something, and I was happy with it. So yeah, that's what I could say. That was a long-winded answer, but there you go. There you go, girl. That's it. I was happy. That's my secret.
Yeah, but I also like the towel hat that you did as of recently.
Oh yeah, that was a challenge. One of my friends on my page, she commented, she's like, I want to see you do it with the bath towels. And I think actually she was like, whatever you make, because she's a designer as well, Aisha Nicole. And she was like, whatever you make, I'm just gonna make an outfit to match it. I was like, okay, girl. And so for the longest, I don't know why, I've been getting inspired by like the whole Kentucky Derby.
Right.
Fire. And I'm like, I want to do it in my own way, which is why I've been doing these like tilted hats. And yeah, it's been a thing. I don't know why, but I'm working on a piece right now. Hopefully I finish that by tomorrow, and then I'll drop the content on like Monday. But yeah, I'm like, that challenged me, and I'm like, girl, I like a challenge. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a doozy, but it turned out so much. It was fun. It was fun. So I guess sometimes it's just successes can just be just having fun. Like, by the time sometimes you do some stuff, people consider success all of this money, but sometimes you don't even know they're going crazy in their brain because it took so much out of them and drained them to get to that money or get to that. And yes, that's okay. We need hard work. But sometimes success is just having fun while doing what you love, and then also getting paid to do it. But doing what you love, that's just what it is. That you just want to feel great doing it. Yeah, because even when I've done things that like I was gonna get a big check to do it, I wasn't happy and I didn't like it. I didn't feel successful in that moment. I just felt like a slave. Like, genuinely, I felt like a slave to it. And I didn't like that. But in those moments where I just got free reign and I was able to collaborate on a project and I didn't get money from it, that felt successful to me. So yeah. But that towel hat, baby, that was fire. I got that up. I got it. It's somewhere over here. It's over there somewhere. But yeah, I loved it. That was successful for me. I loved it.
Right.
It came out amazing.
Yeah, right, exactly. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media, and how can people support your work?
So number one, you can find me at on Instagram at Chelsea Bee 128, and that's CHELSEA, the letter B, number is 128. You can also find me on Instagram at House of Chelsea Bee. I post a lot more on my Chelsea Bee 128 page, and then I try to collaborate. But yeah, if you want immediate stuff and to see what I'm doing right away, you can definitely check out my main Instagram, which is Chelsea Bee 128. Also, you can find me on TikTok at Chelsea Bee11, and that's BEE, right? So you can find me on there. I'm always doing random thingies on there. Facebook, Chelsea Bee. The best way to support is go check out. I guess share something right now. Right now I'm kind of not doing commissions and stuff at the moment, just because I'm trying to focus on a collection, and really get that out. So yeah, I've been trying to hold off. But yeah, that's the best way to support. Continue to share and just be on the lookout for what is next. And also, you can send a great word of encouragement if you want to. That's how you can support. I'm not gonna be that person like, go shop my shop, go do this, because no, I just want you to enjoy the art, do the art, and when I'm ready for people to buy more, then I'll let people know. But yeah, that's that.
All right, cool. That's absolutely amazing. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely incredible. I'm so proud of you and how far you've came. Getting your name out there, your stuff being worn by Lucky Day, Flo Millie. It's absolutely incredible. And I love how you're making strides for the fiber industry. So thank you so much for jumping onto the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been amazing. I hope I didn't talk too long.
Oh, no, it's all cool. This was a fun interview, so I enjoyed myself.
Thank you. I myself too.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care and stay beautiful.